Hi, welcome to Paleo Greenbird. I'm Greenbird. I don't really have the time to do a flint knapping video today, but I did want to get something on camera, so I thought I'd take a little walk around my property here, see if maybe I can find some mushrooms or, some tree fungus, maybe some shed antlers, just have a little bit of fun. Also, I do have a little bit of an issue with unwanted individuals establishing camping areas where I live. In my area, there is an opioid crisis. There's the homeless population has really exploded in the last 5 or 6 years, maybe a little bit more than that. And for the first time in the last few years, I've had trouble with finding little camps out behind my area here, and I had to get the game wardens involved. Both of my neighbors right now have an issue with transient type people passing through their property, probably on their way back for some camps out back here, just like the one that I had to break up. Because the area that I live in is so undeveloped, yet it abuts a very developed area. It's hard to explain, but basically the whole area around here has been owned primarily by the same families for generations and generations and generations, and nobody has developed the land that goes back to the river behind my house. So it makes an optimal or a prime location for people who want to remain unnoticed to set up camp overnight, and it's sad, but it's just a reality that we deal with here where I'm at. So we may encounter a little bit of that. So the purpose of this video is not just to go exploring and see what we can find out there, but also I just want to take a look out back and make sure everything's still okay. My neighbor on the left of me has told me on multiple occasions in the last just couple weeks that he's seen people passing through his property, one right in his driveway. So I told him I'd go take a look. So let's see if we can find some shed antlers. That's the most important thing, right? Maybe some fungus. All right, so stay with me. This is a really cool fungus. This isn't something I just found. This is something I found over the winter, and I set it here so I know where it's at if I need it and when I need it. And this is a horseshoe fungus. I'm sure there's some scientific person out there that's going to light me up in the comments and tell me what this is called. It's a polypore of some sort. From what I understand, it is technically edible, only in the fact that it won't kill you. Not very tasty. There are some medicinal properties to it outside of using it to make a tea. If I'm correct, I believe you can use it topically as well. But the reason that I like this fungus is because it's a great fire extender, or coal extender rather. You put the coal, carve a little chunk in there, put the coal in there, and it will smolder in there for hours. Not as good as chaga, but it's better because you don't have to waste your chaga when you find it. This is much easier to find than chaga is. It grows on birch trees. They call it horseshoe fungus. This one's connected. I'll break it apart. Because if you look at it, it looks like a horse's hoof, or horse. And it's also horseshoe shaped. That probably has a little bit to do with it. So really cool fungus. If you see it, it's a bracket fungus, so it grows off the side like this, off of birch trees. Really cool. Birch trees are just such amazing resources and benefits to us. If you take the time to do a little bit of research on birch, you'll find that it just has so many medicinal qualities. The things that grow on it are medicinal. It's truly a magical tree. This is a fallen birch with a horseshoe mushroom on it. Back here. All right, so let's see what else we can find. So here we have a sapling that's been broken off towards the top. You can clearly see it's been bent over. Obviously, that was Bigfoot. Nothing else could have possibly done that. So here is something kind of interesting that I wanted to point out. I have mostly pines where I'm at, although I am fortunate enough to have red oaks, white oaks, red maples, and sugar maples, as well as some hemlock and birch. So I have a variety, especially, you know, being that this area is known for so much pine. But look at this. This is really cool. This is a small little grove, for whatever reason, of beech trees. And beech trees are really cool. If you've never seen a beech tree, they're just really cool. They're super, super straight. They have smooth skin. They grow really, really tall. In fact, most of these ones are probably at least, oh, they have to be at least 40, 50 feet. They'll probably get bigger. And just a really interesting tree. They do produce nuts that are edible. I've never tried them, so I don't know what they taste like. But I do know that they make really, really good walking sticks. I tried to make a bow out of one time, just a small bow, not a full-size bow, just to test it and see what it's like. And it did work really well. It did end up breaking at some point. So we're about to cross over a big field that's behind my house, and I thought, you know, it reminded me this is a good time to remind everyone that it's tick season. Even though it feels really, really cold, most of the bugs aren't out. The ticks are still out. They're tenacious little buggers, and they can survive pretty much anything. So if you haven't already watched my video, I do have a video that shows me making chemical-free bug repellent, tick repellent. The only thing that I would say is maybe if you have the ability, switch out the vinegar for witch hazel, just because I think it works a little bit better, and it also is a deterrent for bugs. The vinegar was basically just to bind everything together, because the oils don't want to really bind together, they want to separate, so the vinegar was for that purpose. But witch hazel not only will accomplish that, but also bugs don't like it. So check it out. If I think of it, I'll link it somewhere over here or over here. I can never remember where it shows up on the video, but if not, just search my page, you'll find it. So what we have here is northern wintergreen, also known as teaberry. It's late season. There's a nice green leaf over here. If I pick that off and break it in half, see if I can do that with one hand. Ah, you smell that? It smells so good. Just like wintergreen. It's a nice little snack. And I have a video on identifying that. Check it out. If I think of it, I'll post it. Okay, so we just broke off the field, going down towards the river, where I saw the previous, well, one of the previous camps. It's a fresh four-wheeler track here. That's a good sign, actually, because chances are, if there is active four-wheelers down here, it discourages people from camping out. I'm going to shut the camera off because I don't want to be talking and making noise, because we're getting close. Okay, so we're to the site where last time, oh, I just heard something. Anyway, there was a tent right here, right directly here between that tree and this one, that birch tree over here. Never saw anybody back here, but they did have a lot of trash. There was a bike back here, which I did not take because I didn't want to, I don't know, I mean, I have a heart. If somebody needs a place to sleep and does not have a home, I understand that. They can't do it here, where I'm at. This is my fishing hole, and I can bring my kids back here, and I want it to be safe. I can tell somebody's been back here because right over here, by that big dead tree, is where I left their bike. They came and took the tent, but they did not take the bike. So I put it over there. And also, there were a couple of trash bags hanging from these trees. I did not take those either. I did not have a chance to come back and clean those up yet. However, there is a new pile of trash over here. So I don't know if maybe, in fact I'll take a look, maybe that's the bag and it fell off the tree. That could be the bag. Yeah, that could be the bag that fell off the tree. Unfortunately, I'll probably have to come back and clean that up. But the tent is gone, the bike is gone. Nobody got arrested, nobody got hurt. I mean, it very easily could have, you know, escalated into something unintended. Here you can see the sign that the game warden put up for me. A terrible glare on there, but hopefully you can see it. It just says access by permission only. The best part about this whole thing is here's the view of the river. It's hard to see because everything's frozen, but it's so beautiful. It's a great fishing hole. Right over here there's a snapping turtle that lives here. And right there you can see the saw that was used to cut the firewood they were burning over in this fire pit. Usually that's all full of water, and I can neither confirm nor deny how that saw got in there. Check out this beautiful piece of quartz sticking out of the ground. Now that is cool. Okay, so we're back up at the same trailhead that we started at before we got to the river. And you can't really see it, but the field extends a little further over on that right-hand side than it does for the rest. So, and once you get there, it drops down, levels out, and there's a little bit of a brook there. Awesome place to see animals, but also an awesome place to camp. So let's check it out. I saw a really, really big coyote right back here in this quarter one time. It was so big at first I thought it was a wolf. Alright, so as we get to the edge here, I'm going to shut the camera off. I'll turn it back on if it's clear. Okay, while we're here, I wanted to show you this really cool tree. This is, I believe it's a black birch. Might be a silver birch. I'm pretty sure it's a black birch, though some people actually call them cherry birch. And what's really interesting is the bark on this. If you scrape it off, and like any birch, it's extremely medicinal. It's a fever reducer. It is it's a pain reliever, actually, to some extent, and a boatload of other really good medical uses. And the best part about it is it smells like root beer. So when you make tea out of this, it's like having a root beer tea. It's so delicious. And it works. I've used it. I've come back here, even though it's a long walk, I've come back here when I've had a fever. I've used it to cure headaches. You know, I'm sure you could do a lot more with it. Looks just like a birch, only it's a silver color right now, but in the summertime, it's like a dark red black color. So, okay, so we found a couple of cool things. Let's keep looking. No antlers yet. I want to go see what that noise was. Alright, well, we didn't find anybody squatting, which is great. We found a couple of cool things in the meantime. As of right now, I have not found any shed antlers. Kind of disappointed about that. But it didn't really look super hard. Just kind of as we were walking. So Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one. Paleo Greenbird signing out. Have a fabulous day.